Welcome to my UFC 279 May card predictions. So getting straight into the first fight, Walker versus Kusaba. I think it's going to be a close one. I think Walker's got that real unpredictability about him. He has them really quite. He's very unpredictable what he's going to do, and the stuff. He has attacks that no other person does. Which makes it so unpredictable and hard to gauge what's going to happen. But I think it's a close one. But in my mind, Kusaba gets him just because I think Walker leaves himself a bit exposed. Really, I think Kusaba could get him down. Walker goes for something spectacular, and just leaves him so open sometimes to a counter stand up or even the takedown, putting him in a really bad position. So I think Kusaba will win it. But yeah, I think Kusaba could do really much of anything here. He just needs to not get hit by something and then just go. I think, to be quite honest, round one, Kusaba may even just take him down just to wear him out a bit. Round two gets a knockout. I think that's how it's going to work. I think it's going to be, in a sense, that sounds very one-sided. I don't think it will be. I think Walker will have a good bit of stand-up early. Will go for something special, and then not be able to it not connect, and then Kusaba. I do think I think the strategy for Kusaba should be just getting down on the ground, or at least try it, make him think about it in round two. When he does miss that, go for something up top, because he's going to think, oh wait, he's going to get a takedown. But very close, because if Walker lands something, he's so um, unpredictable at times that you don't know what's going to happen. So I think it's a close one, but I think Kusava gets it by knockout in round two. Going on to the next fight, we've got Aldama versus Sashon. So Sashon firstly has the height and reach, but I think the weight will be hard. Yeah, I think Sashon's got it there on the height and reach if you look at the stats, but I think Aldama gets it done. I think it's just Aldama's very good on feet. I don't think that height and reach is actually going to be a major problem due to her just being good and better. I think for you to use reach, you don't have to, in a sense, be better, but you have to be as near on a level, because as soon as they get past your reach, you've got to do something to move back off, or do something different to stop them basically straight walking into your reach, and being in their range instead of your perfect range. So I think Adama's just got the stand up on lock in this. I think in this fight, I think she's just a lot better. I think there's a bit of a good gap in stand up level. I think Sashon has to get to the ground, and I don't think that happens. I think with Adama being the shorter, less range reach, it's just a bit harder for, okay, it's easier to reach out and you can grab when she can't. But the problem is that she knows straight away from this fight she's gonna have to work on the inside of Sashon's range. So it's just hard for me to think there's just not gonna be, like, as soon as she goes for something, a clinch, there's gonna be an uppercut or something. I think Aldama's got quite a bit of strength as well. I don't think it's gonna be easy to get her down either. So I think Aldama gets it done in round two, KO TKO. Going on to the next fight, which is a big fight on this card, really. So Kevin Holland versus Rodriguez. I think Kevin Holland gets it done by decision. Yeah, I think Holland will get it done. He's got good stand up. I think another problem is Rodriguez. I think going against Kevin Holland here is you could make a not you could say you could try and make an argument, but I don't think there is one. Just because Rodriguez had so many in recent times, in a sense, over the last year or so, had a good few injury problems. I think you know you can't. I think I can't remember what it is, but he's had quite a few, and I think it's just a bit of a problem. I think Kevin Holland's like younger. I think Kevin Holland is on the way up. I think you know he is a good fighter. I think Rodriguez is getting on. He's got the injuries that he's had, and I think it's just going to show. I mean, it's sad. I think because injuries are going to show this fight. I think they're going to show on how he performs against Kevin Holland. Not anything against belittling in the if Kevin Holland wins, but I think Rodriguez is going to slow down a bit, and I think Kevin Holland's going to look better than ever. I think it's two different people. I think Rodriguez is slowing down in a sense with the injuries and things, which is what happens. And Kevin Holland's on the other side of it. He's growing into it. So I think you've got to go for the person moving up instead of the person moving down in a sense. I think Kevin Holland keeps it at range and gets a decision. Next fight, a good fight here. I always like Tony Ferguson on a card as does most people. Li Xiao, I think it is, and then versus Ferguson should be a good one. I think Tony Ferguson going up to welterweight. I think that's a problem. I think that's. I don't think that's a great idea. I think him being it. I don't think he's had the time to make a good, considerable move to welterweight. I know he's fought there before. I know at 55 he has to cut weight in it by losing water, and then he he rehydrates. It this way, from what I saw in the press conference, he said, "Look, I had a soda, I had a slushy or whatever before the or whatever happened at the press conference when he came out, and he said to me, and that's just not really what I would think. If you're going to move up to welterweight, you should be doing the same as 55, at least a bit, where you're building so much muscle, getting up to say, I don't know, 170 limit, I'd say is 180 at least, and then cutting the 10 of water or whatever, and then rehydrate after the weigh-in. But he's saying he can basically do what he likes. His weight's fine. He's already under limit when he's drinking soda and I can't remember what he said. Slushy thing. He was drinking like one of the people in I think one of the media or someone at the event or something said, "What are you doing?" And I think that's the problem. I think it is what is going on because Ling Liao is not a small guy. He is a proper welterweight weight, and he's got that power. He's got a TKO power, the KO power, and I think it's going to be a problem. I think it's going to be a good fight. I think Ferguson stays in there for a bit. I hope he does. I mean, I don't want it to be just a destruction. I do like Tony Ferguson as a fighter. He's one of my favourite fighters. So I think Ferguson coming off that KO loss as well, even though he did well, I think it still didn't help him. And I think he hasn't gave it enough time to be able to be a big enough welterweight to be able to compete seriously at that level. And it's not about his skill; it's all about his weight. How much bigger the guys are. And his what he's saying in the press conference really a bit concerns me. To the point where I pick Ling Liao. I think he's got that KO power. I think he gets it done in round 2. I think Ferguson managed to stay. He's tough. I mean, no matter if he got KO'd or whatever, he's tough. you can't say anything against that. And I think he stays in Zeds around 2, and I think I think it's probably going to be a TKO, or it could be a KO, but I think it's TKO. I don't think he gets knocked out clean. But yeah, I don't think. Yeah, I think it's just a problem with how fast he's moved up, really. Then, getting on to the main event, Chimaev versus Diaz. And I'll go into this a bit of detail, really, but to be quite honest, I think everyone's bet is round 1 Chimaev KO TKO. It's definitely a stoppage in round 1. And that's not anything against Diaz. I think it's quite a sad fight for Diaz's pretty much confirmed last fight. I mean, pretty much, unless he wins, and then it might change that. He might, but Diaz is one of my favourite fighters to watch, and one of the favourite fighters of the fan base. Anyone who watches UFC and sees him and how he, the Conor fights, everyone, how many millions of fans that them they bring in, and how many Diaz fans are out there. Diaz has never really competed for the title picture in any sense of really being up there, like competing, and but brings in more fans than a lot of the championship fighters of yesteryear. So, you've got to think the Conor McGregor after that fight. What numbers did Diaz bring in? I fully expect they're as big as some championship fights. And I think it's sad. I think Chimaev, as anyone, is just destroying the division. Up to Gilbert Burns' last fight, I think, but Gilbert Burns, I mean, a top contender. Diaz is coming into it. His last fight, he's not a top contender. I don't believe he's even ranked, and he's coming against Chimaev. I think it's basically one of the things of the UFC making sure that name has no name power, or as little name power as possible when they leave the UFC in case they go somewhere else. But I think it's just like he's done so much for the UFC, that it's just a bit. Come on, give him a fight where he could actually. Because Diaz will take any fight, but make sure you match it up so he actually has a. It's a good fight. It's gonna go. It's gonna go a good few rounds, and Diaz gets to show one last time what he's about, and go out and go, look, even if he loses, decision or something like that of a 5-rounder, hey, it's another great 5-rounder appreciation for Nate Diaz and what he's done. And I think it's just putting against Chimaev, where Chimaev's probably going to be fighting champion. How this fight even got made, really, when Chimaev should be probably fighting Usman or Usman Edwards or whatever at the top of that division is just crazy, or another contender. It's just a bit weird of a matchup. I think everyone's saying it. It's just so like we get you don't like people going out of the company who are flirting with the idea of going somewhere else or something like that. But I think it's just. This is a bit more. I mean, I think I don't remember going years and years back, remembering what these type of fights were, but I think this is probably the most outweighted one I've seen. Hey, but the one thing is that doing this against Nate Diaz is that little part of me that goes, imagine if he does. Imagine if he does it. He beats Chimaev, no matter decision, no matter what. He beats him. Wow. I think that would be, and I don't want to put dreams out there. It would be as defining moment of when he beat Conor. I would actually say it is more. It shows more skill and ability and how good of a fighter he is to beat Chimaev now than beating Conor then. Because Conor, going 5 rounds, you get him into deep water, he tires out, and also the size of him. Chimaev is so much bigger. He's so much bigger than Conor, and so bigger than Diaz is the point. Like, Diaz was kind of the bigger guy going into them Conor fights, so I think it'll be round one. Let's go back to reality. I think it'll be round one Chimaev, KO, TKO. I think he gets stopped. It's going to be, and I've put, this is just because when I'm going through these fights, I've put a note. It'll be quick and sad. And I fully expect the fans in wherever it's being held are just going to go silent. No clapping, no nothing. Just okay. That's it of his era and what he's done. Kind of actually, if he is going to lose in round one, like I predict, by KO TKO, I'd just rather he did it. He came to an event and went, "Look, I'm retiring, guys. That's it." But he's not going to do that. It's Diaz, and why we love him so much is because he will take these fights. So that's my predictions for UFC 279. Please let me know what you think in the comments. Like and subscribe. And I'll be watching the fights, and I'll see you next week for the next main card predictions.